about obvious things. They say, "I you're xenophobic. No, how can you say this?" And those who say so, they are foreigners themselves. And they refuse to admit the wrongs that their people have done here in this country. South Africa is the country that welcomed everyone, and it still does, from back in the days. But the latest people that we've welcomed in the last 20 years, they're nothing but useless. Majority of them, they're useless. You cannot open your country for people to walk in and sell tomatoes in the streets, in the markets. You need scarce skills. Follow your labor laws. Follow investment laws. If you come to open businesses, have 5 million rands in your account. Apply our laws. Unfortunately, the ANC government, they're not doing that. But majority of the people who are coming here, they brought us rubbish. There was no crime of building hijackers before foreigners came here. Human trafficking. People being injected with drugs, then later they are dependent on drugs, then they are forced into prostitution. We've never heard that. Your 419. Buildings being stolen. That's typical of Nigeria, where buildings are written, not for sale, not for sale. Here in this country, we're used to order. We're not used to this nonsense that we see in our CBDs. Our people have been squashed out, extinguished, out of existence. You don't see our people in all the big cities, the metros, Durban, Cape Town, Limpopo. These guys are everywhere, and they're not adding value. Besides doing crime, Mozambicans are here stealing our cars, taking them across the border. Robberies, murder. You find Zimbabweans, Mozambicans. In the entertainment sector, you find all these guys from the Eastern Bloc of Europe running as they please. Jerusalem Mafia, Israeli Mafia, Cyprus Mafia, Russian, doing as they please. And we must be quiet because we are scared to be called xenophobic. I will never be quiet. I've never been quiet, even during apartheid. And I always acted. In the name of no religion, in the name of no education, in the name of nothing, no one can calm me down and say, "I be quiet." Where they come from, there's no freedom of expression. We must be quiet, and people are telling us that we are so useless. South African men are useless. Yeah, they are useless. But where they come from, there's nothing. Go to Nigeria, Togo, Gabon, Ghana. The whole continent looks like a squatter camp. It looks like a graveyard. They've built nothing since their liberation. They come here, they're chasing the infrastructure that was built by a few whites and blacks. I must emphasize this. Black South Africans built these cities. The so-called lazy. They build this town. They build these roads. They build everything. And they're chasing the infrastructure that was built under apartheid. Yet they were free since 1957. Ghana. What have they done? I'm asking, what have they done up to date? Nigerian men, they're only speaking B. We in Nigeria this, in Nigeria that. In Nigeria it's a squatter camp. You must shut up and sit down. Your country has nothing to offer. Looters. Religious war, ethnic war, homophobic war. You've got Yorubas, Northerners, Irbus, Hausas. They're always fighting one another. They can't even sit down. They're always blaming the CIA, killing each other, raping children, cutting babies' hands, genetically mutilating women. You've never seen such crimes here in South Africa. There are certain crimes that don't happen here. Your 419. Zimbabweans building schools, not building schools, taking a dilapidated building, turning them into fake schools. You've never seen that. People coming here, Namakik and Bobos are opening churches and say, "We're bringing Jesus." There is no Jesus where you come from. Your country is a squatter camp. It's like in the movie Mad Max. That they come here, they say, "Hey, this guy is so xenophobic." And you South African girls who are married to these idiots, you're idiots yourself, because most of these marriages are marriages Marriages of convenience, where these guys, they force you and make you drug mules. They drag you, they send you to prostitution. If you work in the bank, there'll be a banking fraud where you'll be the culprit and the guy behind it gone to another country because they jump from one country to another. They messed up this country and jump to the other. South African foreigners who are here, they've done nothing. The last 20 years, last 24 years, it's misery. They contribute nothing. Fake products, that you'll find Somalis and Pakistanis and Ethiopians, they're making us eat nonsense, sewage water, as mineral water. Nothing that they bring. Nigerians, 99.9999 of them. Drug pushers. Even those that claim to be doctors. Hey, fake doctors, those things. Fake doctors, those bastards. They're fake doctors. They've got fake CVs. In Nigeria, they're given these papers and say, go to South Africa. The whole continent is colluding against us. And we are quiet. We have a stupid president apologizing everywhere. Tumamina did not ask you to apologize on our behalf. All these countries, they prioritize their own people. There are certain jobs that are reserved for your own people. Small business. Even Robert Mugabe, that opulent guy, Robert Mugabe was Kotani. He said certain jobs are reserved for our people. Retail work, no compromise. Kenya does the same. Mozambique does the same. Ghana, they're expelling foreigners. They say they don't have jobs for their own people. Nigeria, doing the same. But here people, they come here from Zambia to do operations in our hospitals. Our hospitals, they used to be first-class treatment. People used to come from London to Baragwanath. Today, they're rotting. It's full of foreigner. The bed is occupied by foreigner. Our people are sleeping on the floor. We must be quiet. You can't go to that. It was this broken country of Zimbabwe, broken country in Nigeria, broken country in Senegal, broken countries all over Africa, and say, I need medical attention. You will die there. You'll be infected with diseases, Ebola. You'll come out there worse. I mean, our HIV budget is the biggest in the continent because we are treating their own people. They have no ARVs treatment. They come here. All the way from Nigeria, you need medical attention here. Swaziland, Botswana. And Botswana is even better because it takes care of its own people. These ones, Zambia, Congo, they come here and they don't want to leave. And you South African girls, you fall for these idiots. They want passports. They want ID. They want to be South African citizens. They never leave. Where have you seen umkhwenyana alandela umakoti ayohlala kubomakoti? If he marries you, you must go to Nigeria now. You must go to Senegal now. But here in this case, umakoti is the groom who's following the bride. And you tell yourself, we are men in men. They're useless, these guys. They talk too much for nothing. Nigerian men, they've got nothing to offer. Even their president. I mean, look at Goodluck Jonathan, their former president. He was wanted in England. He escaped wearing a dress in London. The next thing in mushroom is a president. What sort of a man is that? He escaped in London, wearing a dress disguised as a woman. The next few months he showed up in the presidential election to become Nigeria president. All of them, they are corrupt. You Obasanjo, that ugly guy called Obasanjo. I'm sure he eats snakes. When you're told, hey, these guys, they are romantic my food. They are not romantic, these guys. They have no choice. They have to come here. That's why they go there in London, all over. They marry grandmothers. Find a 28-year-old man married to a 79-year-old woman because he needs a citizenship. His country messed up his own country. They've been raping, killing each other, planting landmines, bombs instead of planting food. They have no creativity. They claim to be educated. They are not educated, these fools. They've got fake papers. If they were educated, they'll fix their countries. Education must be reflected on the ground. You can't be educated if you can't change things on the ground. Here we are. The Boers, they were isolated. They created Sosol. For everything that they could not get outside the country, they created. What is it that Africa is creating? There's no cell phone, there's no car. These guys, you feed them now. The multinationals, banking, they didn't even know banking. Nigeria has no electricity. And you are told by these fools that, hey, South Africa will isolate, South Africa will... Hey, South Africa is feeding you. Can really Nigeria, Tanzania sanction South Africa? Sanction us with what? With what? With what? Zimbabwe, Nigeria. You have no electricity, dog. You're running planes that are 70 years older. 1945 planes that were used by Stalin. You run there commercially. Up and down inside those planes. And you're telling us that, will cut us out. And I'm sure even MTN there, you've duplicated it, pirating it, whatever that they produce. And you come here, you're pretending to be better people, even killing each other in Liberia, eating people. And then they come here, they tell us that you're xenophobic. And those of my colleagues who think that I'm xenophobic, I'll never be quiet when our children's future is at stake because of your people who are coming here. And they want everything. These guys, they want everything. Security jobs is them, retail, hospitality industry, it's them. What sort of a country is that? It's them. They're taking everything, and you must be quiet. You must be quiet because you don't want to be labeled xenophobic. You must be quiet. No, over my dead body. Some of us, we can't be quiet. We've seen through you.